time.
Youth Factor. I'm just pulling up, just like to do a little checky check.
Yeah, Mohawk Valley Students is live now with Test.
Okay. Oh, I gotta change the name of that thing. It's still saying Test.
And now Mohawk Valley Church is now live with Test.
With Test.
So is YouTube also Jared Elrod live stream. We are live in a whole
I
bunch
changed
of
that. I changed that from Jared Elrod to Youth Factor like 3 weeks ago.
I know, it makes me feel
There we
left
go.
out.
I changed it, buddy. It is updated. Okay. I'm going to monitor your comments on YouTube. So if you want to leave us a comment, go ahead and do that. And then Jonathan's going to be checking Facebook. So
It shows nothing but Miss Crappy.
yeah, maybe. I've got it here.
And I got stuff.
Oh, got some Dude Perfect going on. All right. So leave us comments if you want. But first, we got to start off. Are you ready,
there
buddy?
We are. There we are.
Are you ready?
We're on there. I've been really concerned all day. What is this thing, and
Are
why
you
are
ready?
you holding it, and why are you pointing it at me?
Because I'm going to shoot you. Are you ready?
I don't know.
You've already got like a red mark on your neck. I feel like I want to shoot you in the neck and be like, look, I left a red mark. Are you ready? I don't know. I don't think I've been shot by this yet, so I don't know. Here, I don't want to be like that. I'm going to shoot myself first, okay? I'm going to shoot myself first in the leg. I miss! You ready? Oh, cut! We're not doing it. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Okay, are you ready?
Do it on my sleeve.
Okay, you want me to hit you where? So you don't want me to miss and get you in the ribs?
Yes, I don't want you to hit me
Okay,
on the
here we
leg.
go, right?
I'm nervous. Okay, that didn't hurt.
I kind of got your armpit, so your shirt took a lot of the brunt of it.
That didn't hurt. It's a noise.
But you
that
know,
noise.
yeah, the noise is like scary when you're like going through your.
It sounds like you're about to get hit with a BB gun.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
pretty-
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, the noise is pretty up there. So if you're wondering why is Pastor Jared shooting Jonathan, actually,
Why?
most
That
of
is a
them aren't
very
wondering.
good
Most of them are
question.
not wondering. Most of them are just like, that's an amazing idea, and the other half are saying, shoot me the other way. Here, you shoot me now. Actually, don't shoot me in the
All right,
face.
so how do I? What do
You
I?
hold this down to get the engine going or the motor going, and then you shoot here. Okay, don't shoot me in the face.
No.
That's the only way it's actually gonna hurt. Right here. Ready? Right here. Ooh, hey! What?
I was supposed to do just
what
one.
just happened?
I was supposed to do just one.
What?
Oh, you didn't say that. That's
What?
pretty cool. That's
It
pretty
actually,
fun.
so you definitely know when you get hit. So remember to talk about a game we're going to be doing. If there's any cheaters, we know better. We know you can feel it when you're getting. Now maybe if it hits like in like the bottom of the foot or something, like yeah, I barely felt that. But
I mean, I
we
really
know.
felt it too, but it's enough. You still feel the.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure when you get hit. So here's what we're doing. Tomorrow night, we've been announcing this for a week and a half, something like that. Tomorrow night we are having a game night, but it's kind of a closed, private game night. So it's not, I guess it is a youth event, but it's actually more of a Youth Factor event, which is weird to say because Youth Factor is just a show for youth. But what it is we are recording for our Youth Factor show. And so what is going to happen is once a month, sometimes twice a month, going to bring some of you guys in and we'll do different games. In fact, we were just shooting, like that's why this green screen is up and it was up last week, is because we were recording some little sketches to go with one of the games we were playing called AI Dungeon. And we will be playing that again tomorrow.
Yay.
And
That's
we will,
cool.
yeah,
That's
AI
cool.
Dungeon's
That's very
awesome.
fun.
And then we get to like shoot something from the green screen to like act out the stories you guys come up with and the computer come up with. And then we will play Shotgun Marco Polo. So many of you are
Now,
so excited for this game.
We just need to clarify. This is a Nerf gun.
Yes,
This
see?
is a Nerf gun.
It's this Nerf gun right
and
here.
It does not hurt. That hurt because you got me on bearskin. That hurt
I thought
a little
I
bit.
thought you missed. I missed you each time.
That did hurt a little bit.
When it hit
I
the
still feel
same
the sting.
spot a second time, it stung a little bit.
It does sting. I'm just gonna hold my arm for the rest.
I didn't hit you with all of them,
the-
right? I thought I
You
missed
know,
you.
well, no, the first two you missed.
Yeah,
right?
I thought I shot past you, but I got you with one. Okay, I feel a
You
little
got
bit.
me with
Oh look! Replay, instant replay for us. Boom, boom, boom.
Instant replay.
Because there's a delay.
I was like, that's so cool. You just
No,
when you want
no.
instant
There's a little
replay.
bit of a delay. So we will play Shotgun Marco Polo. This is how it works. Okay, so I'm not going to shoot you again. In fact, oh no, there's still bullets. This
Can I
holds.
shoot you again?
No. This holds. Look, it's spring loaded. This will hold 12 little Nerf.
We're gonna call
Can you
Nerf
grab
ball.
one of those? Oh, right here. These little Nerf balls. They're actually super squishy. The only reason they kind of sting at all is because this thing shoots them out so
My
fast.
arm does hurt a little bit right now. I'm just
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, when you shot me like 3 times, like when it hit in the same place as the first time, it smarted a little
I didn't
bit.
mean to hurt you. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, it's good. It's all good. It's all fine. Oh, you know what? They need some. Ready? You guys ready?
Okay,
Oh, is that my last bullet?
here's 3 more.
That's the last one.
Here's 3.
Okay,
You
pop
have
those in
3
there.
shots to
4,
get
because
them.
I put 1 in.
Oh, so you have 4 shots to get our viewers.
Okay, here we go. You guys ready?
You guys might want to get some protective gear on in there. Oh!
Yeah. I was obviously not really trying to hit the lens, but hopefully that was pretty close.
You saw the balls go by.
Wait. We'll see it here in a second. Instant replay again for us. This is kind of cool having the delay. I want to see what this looks like. There you go. Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
It is
That's
cool.
cool. So what we'll do is this holds 12 of those little Nerf things. It's Nerf Rival, and for those of you wondering, it's the MXX 1200. It takes. This is a little excessive in my opinion. It takes 6 C batteries. A lot of juice.
Well, when you hear that,
Then you know why. But there's a lot of electricity to power this thing. So we will be playing. You'll have 12 chances. Basically, what's going to happen is we'll be in the NPR, which is the old, well, not the old, but it's the kids' room, and whoever is it. So it's just, the first part's just like the kid game. You know, you say Marco.
Paulo.
Marco, yeah, you do that kind of thing, and you close your eyes. Well, you're going to be blindfolded. They're around here
So
somewhere.
usually they have to close their eyes and wear the blindfold.
Well-
do they have to do both?
Well, I was saying like the kid version, like the pool version. You close your eyes.
Because they don't
But
have
we're
to
gonna
close
give
their eyes
them.
if they have blindfolds. They can
Well,
keep their eyes open.
It pretty much goes around. So they'll have to wear the blackout glasses to be blinded, and then you'll have this, and you're gonna have 12 shots. And so what you'll do, so I suggest you don't go do like we just did. You just do one at a time. So what you'll do is you'll say Marco, and they're moving around. They can come up and poke you. They can get behind you. They can blow. Well, don't blow because we're in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
But
no, they have to stay 6 feet away.
yeah, you gotta stay 6 feet away. You can't. I mean, I guess you can maybe poke them in the shoulder, like kind of lean over, but
They can
don't.
use their elbow to poke you.
Yeah, don't blow on them. That was a horrible thing for me to say. And then when you say Marco, they have to freeze and say Polo, so they can't move.
Oh, okay.
So if they get right in front of you and they're like doo-doo-doo in your face, and you say
you go Marco, then they
and
have to stop,
they're
and
right
you go
there.
bang right in their face. That's gonna
Yeah,
hurt.
it's gonna hurt. So we are going to grab some like safety goggles. Also, if you have like a big pair of sunglasses or your own goggles, bring those just to help us out, so we don't have to pass out as many.
Whatever kind of personal protective equipment.
You're
have,
good with glasses. I'll wear
You think they'll
sunglasses.
If you hit them too hard.
I don't think they'll break. I don't think they'll break. These are pretty soft. So if anything, it'll just kind of maybe hurt the rim of your nose.
Yeah.
But so yeah, bring a pair of glasses or sunglasses, and we'll try to grab a couple extra pairs in case you don't have them or whatever. And so yeah, they will have to freeze, and then as the people are frozen, you have to like. So if they go Polo, and you're like, you have to figure out where you think they are, and then boom, fire a shot. And if they get some, they're out. And you have 12 shots to try to get everyone out.
So we're basically doing some sort of cool Dude Perfect type thing.
No, we are
We're not
doing
Dude Perfect.
Node from
No
Corridor
Dude
Digital's
Perfect.
Node. But it's similar because, yes, they all kind of copy each other and do the same thing. So that is what we are doing. I actually stole this 100% from Sam and Nico on the Corridor Digital channel.
Ooh, you stole it from somewhere other than
Except,
Dude Perfect.
yeah, I don't watch Dude Perfect. Except they did theirs with airsoft guns, so clearly that was going to hurt
I've
more.
seen the paintball ones, and those seem to hurt.
Yeah, they have the
Yeah.
airsoft, but they had a pistol, but they had it was a gas one, so those hurt. Like the gas powered ones hurt pretty good, and they were in like Hollywood, whatever, like paintball airsoft thing. So it looks like a lot of fun. So we're gonna do it.
So here's the question: if somebody wants to be involved and they want to play, what do they do?
Okay, we have one opening left. So we're only opening this because I said it's kind of private. It's open to our youth students, but only a certain amount because we can't have like 20 kids show up because we're recording it. We're going to be editing it after that 20-minute game section. We'll be announcing the new name of it and a secondary gaming channel, this whole thing. But for the summer right now, we're getting ahead of stuff. So when we relaunch season 2 in September, we're ready to go. So there is each game night will have a certain amount of openings. This one, because it is the night before, we opened up 4. 3 of them are already filled. Plus, we have our regular cast, which is the 2 of us, Addie and Lily, because they're here. They're part of the kind of like helping us with some of this media stuff that we've been recording some stuff. So they'll be here. Judah will be here doing a camera. I will be doing a camera. We'll have a few of us recording and whatnot, and it will be. It'll have cameras set up. So if you want to do it, like I said, there's one spot.
Shoot your cameras.
Yeah, well, as long as once you get like 6 feet away, no coincidence there. It drastically reduces the impact. So we're shooting each other like right at each other, but like if someone's at that door and I shot the door, it would be like exponentially less than this. Like right.
So like I said, we just stay 6 feet away, nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, it's enough to feel it, but not enough to like actually get hurt. So, and guys, if I know that there may be some buffering issues and stuff. We've been redoing the internet in the building, and for some reason we've struggled to really get it. It's supposed to be fine over here, but sometimes we do have an issue with it. And I just realized that our battery's about to die. I didn't plug it in. So while I plug it in, tell them about how
what battery's about to die?
My camera. So my laptop, and the whole show will go dead. So tell them about like how there's nothing this Friday and then all that kind of stuff. As much as you can remember while I do this really quick.
As much as I can remember. So let's see. Yeah, we are not having. We've been doing Friday night games for the youth at 6:30. We've had a pretty good turnout, right, Pastor Jared?
Yes, we've had a
We
amazing
did.
turnout. It's been
Let's
a
see.
lot
What
of
was
fun.
the first one we did? We did
Kickball.
Which is not.
and then we did. What? Second one was volleyball, and the third
Volleyball.
one was human foosball. We've been doing those at 6:30. Yay, we're plugged in. We're not gonna go now.
Hopefully.
But yeah, there is nothing this week on Friday night because of the 4th of July weekend. So we are
Yes.
doing nothing this weekend. However, we're doing something different.
Actually, we're done with them. We're not doing
We're
Friday
done.
night game
Yeah,
nights
we're
anymore.
done. But I was saying we're doing something different. But we're actually done with the Friday nights because that was a temporary get back into youth, social distance, outside thing. But we're doing something more exciting.
Yes, so we are depending on how you look at it, we're either done with them or we're just changing them. So we are we're calling it. We're bringing youth back.
Yeah.
We weren't really calling the Friday night game nights youth. It was a youth event, but we are bringing youth back. It will be the same time on Thursdays, so from 7 o'clock until service is out, which is like around, I think it's 8:30. We will, because we were doing 6:30. We will still be set up. Like you can come at 6:30 and hang out if you want, but the actual service here starts at 7, so that's when we'll start the first round of whatever game we're gonna do. And then we'll have like about an hour of whatever game. So the first one, which is going to be the 9th of July 9th. And
That's
it's going to be
a good night. It's gonna be
a lot of fun. And the game is going to
Kids'
be
church is gonna be open.
kids' church will be open, so you can
Parents,
bring.
you bring your kids, drop them off. You can drop your youth
Yes.
off at the barn, and you can enjoy the service all by yourself.
Exactly. No kids. Enjoy the service. And then we're going to have, by extreme popular request, the activity for that night, because it's like our grand reopening, is going to be Gaga Ball.
I should have done the drum roll. I didn't know ahead of time.
Gaga Ball! Since you
There
guys
we
are
go.
all obsessed, you sound crazy. Like, oh, Gaga Ball, so much fun, Gaga! And then you go, oh, explain how you play it. And it doesn't really make sense when they explain it to you.
Hit
So I just thought it was...
Do the ball 3 times. Don't get your toes, and then try
And
to
then
get
you hit
somebody
it, and then
else's
you this,
toes.
you that.
And if you
Yeah.
don't hit somebody's toes, and you're out. I'm like, sounds
It-
like I guaranteed you're out.
Yeah,
no
it doesn't
matter
really
what.
make a lot of sense. So
But
then
I
I
just love
went
it.
as a
So-
chaperone, and I even played, and I went and I saw our kids play it, and other kids play it, and I play it, and I was like, oh, okay, this game isn't, I mean, it's still interesting, but it's not nearly as weird as it sounds. I mean, kind of, but in a good way, in a fun way. So we'll be set. We actually have a Gaga Ball
Podcast interrupted.
pit here. It'll come back. For those of you, like I was saying about the internet, so if it gets interrupted or something, just give it a second and it should come back. I think we're kind of
There we
maxing
go.
out what we can do with our internet. So yeah,
We're just that awesome. I
it
guess.
was too much awesome for our internet. So yeah,
Most
it'll
of
be
the awesomes right here.
it'll be yeah, right here. It'll be we'll be playing. Oh look, I'm in slow motion. Oh, I think it's going in slow motion because the internet isn't bad, but our audio should still be fine, I think. I don't know.
I'm
Are we
still
back?
smiling.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, it is
it's
slow
back.
motion. Look at that.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll look at it later, and then depending on how it is, we'll maybe make some adjustments for next week. We might be streaming to too many things because we're streaming to 2 YouTube channels, so we might have to not stream to as many things next week. So that might be the reason we're having some problems. But yeah, so we'll be having Gaga Ball. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You're gonna want to come to it, and I think that's it for that.
So is this in the barn? This is
no, this is at the
outdoors.
pavilion. This
so
is
no
still
masks
outdoors.
are required. Is that right?
No masks are required
Okay.
because you should have no problem staying 6 feet apart from each
in
other.
the pavilion.
Because we got all those picnic tables. So like during the service, you know, you guys can go 2 to a picnic table, 1 on either side. You can, and those things are like, I think the ones we have are like 8 feet. So you're gonna easily be over. It's outdoors. You can even stand in like the area, and then so we'll have Gaga Ball. Then we'll have like a little bit of like we're bringing the format will be like Gaga.
Actually watching this and the buffer cut out.
The youth Facebook page. See if I can do that.
No Facebook at all. That's what it looks like.
No, it'll still be the church Facebook
Okay.
page. Just we'll drop the youth Facebook page and see if that helps a little bit, because our internet is kind of crawling a little bit. I can actually, once I lean forward, I can kind of see the settings. So,
All right, so we're outdoors Thursday night, like usual. Only it's in the pavilion,
yeah, it'll be-
and it's going to still be our same format of game, devotional.
yeah,
maybe
it's a little
worship.
different. But here's the thing, guys. Like I was talking to Pastor, like in no way is this like a reduced service. Like I was telling and staff today, I think we were talking, and I was like, look, if they came out tomorrow and said, oh, the coronavirus is completely gone, it literally doesn't exist anymore, like some magic pandemic genie. I don't mean like we have a vaccine. I mean like literally we wake up and there's no pandemic tomorrow. We would still do youth this way for the rest of the summer.
It's been really nice. I
Yes.
really like this outdoor format, and it's just been good to get to connect and get to know our students better by.
And it's just okay, here's the thing. So since where we are in central New York, we only have a few months of summer and good weather, and then all winter long we're all crammed in the garage.
Mhm.
You know, it's hard to do the games. We're always like trying to figure out how to like set up the chairs so we can still do some games and still have service. But then outside, the weather's good. We have a few months of good weather. We have a soccer ball field, soccer ball field. Sorry, soccer ball field. We have a tennis ball. We have volleyball. Hold on, I need another drink of this thing. We have volleyball. We have Gaga Ball as soon as we get it set back up. We have kickball / baseball.
Yes.
There's no reason for us to just be sitting inside, because then we'd just be hot.
And then when we
Anyways,
sit inside, we do have other games that we are
Mhm.
working on, such as what do we have?
well, we're not announcing that yet.
We're not announcing. I
like
think we did at one time.
when
but
we
it's
open-
again a secret.
yeah. Well, when we open up in, I think we may have said it, but when we open up again in September, we'll go back inside because I got here about September and I remember the first few
It
weeks
was chilly.
it was fine, but then it got very hit or miss, and by
Yeah,
October
September
it was
is
cold.
kind of hit or miss. Yeah, October's just rain
So
and cold.
we'll probably move in September. Kids can get there early and do outdoor activities. We'll come in for service and then back outdoor afterwards.
Plus, it gets dark very early.
It starts getting darker earlier and and all that stuff. So, but we will have a surprise. So when we go back inside, it'll almost be like another reopening, and it's gonna be like a much upgraded experience from what you guys were used to from
Yay.
before. So
All
okay.
exciting, good stuff.
Yes, that is way enough of announcements. We're gonna jump into our stuff here. So I'm gonna check the students really quick, or the youth factor page, because I've been watching the church one. So let me switch over. Find our live stream. Youth factor live. Cool. Okay, I'm going to monitor this one for a little bit now, in case we have anyone commenting on there. All right, so on Sunday, actually, both services this weekend, I preached. Pastor and his wife, his whole family, his whole family was going to be on vacation. Of course, that kind of got messed up a little bit with this little thing going on in the world right now.
What could you possibly mean?
I don't know. There was something happening and it messed things up and they had to reschedule. I don't know. I'm sure.
Who knows?
It was like coronavirus or COVID-19, something like that.
COVID, okay.
Yeah, so it turns out no one really wants people from New York coming to their state.
And no one in New York wants people. Yeah.
Well, it's starting to flip now, but
right.
Yeah, because it was like it makes traveling really hard because like I actually heard from some people that if you have New York plates, it's hard to get across state lines. Like I've heard that certain states will. I haven't heard that they're completely denying you access, but I've heard like they're taking down your license stuff. They're documenting you being there. You have to fill out like an affidavit saying that you have nothing. Like it's like pretty hardcore. So anyways, all I have to say, some plans changed. So they were still here. That's why he did the post show. But I spoke because he was originally going to be gone. And I kind of want to go over some of the things, not like re-go over the message, but some of the application because the gist of what I was talking about, or at least one piece that I kind of went on. It wasn't my main scripture, but I talked about this idea of being involved and everyone coming together and everyone having a place, everyone being valuable and everyone contributing and not just, oh, I go to church and then I don't really contribute. And so it'd be really easy, I think, I keep looking at the computer, but I need to be looking at the lens.
Camera.
Yeah. But it's just, there's a couple good looking guys down here and it keeps pulling my interest down there like, ooh, on point. Ooh, that was bad. Okay, back to what I was saying. So it's easy as like a teenager, I think, to be like, oh yeah, he's talking about adults and stuff like that. He's not really, this idea of getting involved isn't really talking to me. And that's not true. It is just as applicable to you as it is to adults. In fact, one of the things I talked about was the idea that if you feel like you've plateaued in your spiritual life, if you've been struggling, you've been praying like, God, why can't I get over like this temptation, or why do I keep having the same problems? Why do I not feel close to you? There's a good chance that part of like you're like on this level, and you're saying, God, I need to get to the next level, and God's saying, okay, the way to that next level is through service, and I want to call you into some form of ministry. Now, it doesn't mean like, oh, okay, so Pastor said, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to become a pastor. I'm going to. And that's another thing too is we can get these callings and then just sit on it. Like, oh, I'm going to do this.
I mean that, but there is a process.
It's funny because and then I wonder if anyone thought I was going to grab the gun and shoot you or something because I was like, and you said something and it's like.
See the process. Part of the process is. What can I do for you, Pastor Jared? Oh, you want to shoot me in a live episode? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did ask his permission ahead of time.
That's sometimes what serving looks like.
I was
what
like,
do you need to do? Shoot me? Sure.
But ironically, though, it was kind of your fault, or you gave me the idea. I shouldn't say it's your fault, because he comes in, he picked up one of the little Nerf things, and he's kind of squeezed it, and he's like, oh, this isn't going to hurt too bad. I go, I'm going to shoot you in the episode.
I was like, say what?
I'm like, hey,
my attention.
It's like, you just gave me the idea. I'm going to shoot you.
You just got my attention.
So, yes, the idea of being able to get involved. I can think back to a lot of my growth, and then just a lot of my... Honestly, it also kept me out of a lot of problems that a lot of my peers struggled with certain things because they were at parties that maybe they probably should have never been at. They were involved in things that started to take over their identity, and then they started drifting. And I didn't have to deal with a lot of that because I was so involved in my church. My identity... Now, you can go the other way, too. You can start to make your relationship with Christ more about the fact of how much you're at the church and all that kind of stuff. But I was always, like... I was in youth, and then I was on youth leadership. And then from youth leadership, we got new youth pastors, and I was a little bit older at that point, so Brandon and I had started dating. And they made us, we went from youth leadership to, I think we were engaged, so they made us, I think like assistant youth, no, we became like junior high leaders. Like we took over the junior high, because we'd break off after worship, and we'd be with the junior high, a couple of junior high kids, that were, like most of them were high schoolers, so it was like a little bit of responsibility. Then we went into... then we got another new youth pastor, and we became the assistant youth pastors to the youth pastor, and then we became the like temporary youth pastor because she was going to be out for some medical leave, And then when the medical leave, it was like the further they got into it and they got closer to the surgery, they realized it was going to be longer than they originally thought. So then they went from, instead of us just being the interim or short term filling in youth pastors, they said, you know what, let's just go ahead and give it to you. Show up to youth events, and I would record all night long. So we'd do like an all night party, and I would record and record stuff, and I'd edit it. I'd put it to like a popular Christian song of the time, and it's going to keep doing that. Yeah, it's going to be. It's not shown in our mind, but it's going to just on because of we have internet issues. We're going to have to try to figure out for next week. So yeah, we do apologize for that. And our battery died on that light. I knew it would die at one point, but it finally gave up on us. So like you can even see on here, it got a little bit darker. And then I'm making like a weird face. It's all frozen. I'm like all weird as I'm looking at the light. So
you guys, you still get golden nuggets in between all the buffering. It's still worth it for you to sit there and
we gotta figure out for next week, so we don't have to either be on like the like janky cell phone kind of, or now it's more professional, but then it's buffering. So we'll figure it out. So we'll wrap this up because I know there are some interruptions and whatnot. And we're actually about at our half hour anyways. So my point being, get involved. Just because you're young, like, you know, Paul told Timothy, like, one, to study yourself, study to show yourself approved, and also not to let them despise your youth. So just because you're young doesn't mean they can't do anything. And the other thing too is they have to. The Bible also talks about, way in a different part, about not despising small beginnings. So don't be like, I feel called to be a youth pastor one day, or I feel called to be an evangelist, or whatever it is. Don't feel like you're, like I give the example of moving chairs and stuff. And don't feel like you're above that. So don't go, hey, you know what, I want to volunteer to be and work on stuff. How can I help? I want to volunteer to help out with the youth ministry. And if we go, yeah, show up early and help us set up, and be like, no, I meant like, could you let me preach? You know, and that's like the stereotypical thing, like the guy just wants to preach, he doesn't want to help, you know, that kind of stuff. So get involved, do whatever it is that is needed. That may be setting up chairs, that may be learn how to edit videos. In fact, Pastor was telling me about how, because Pastor Hayden, the last youth pastor, he was on a couple episodes ago with a game thing. He edits some, he does with Final Cut Pro. We'll forgive him for that. And Pastor was telling me how he learned was because he was like I think a student or a student leader, and Pastor needed someone who could edit videos for youth, and so he was like, I want to do stuff, but he never really, I think he mentioned it, and he never really took it too seriously because it wasn't what he was wanting to do. So finally, Pastor just like locked him in a room. I don't think he actually locked him, but he like locked him in a room with a computer with Final Cut Pro and was like, learn this. Don't come out until you learn it. And he learned it, and so now he, to this day, like at his new church, when all the pandemic stuff happened, he was heavily doing a bunch of stuff that helped out the church. And so you never know, and so never worry. And then you kind of went through a similar thing where you were like, Pastor Ed, like all the youth stuff stopped, and you were like, how can I help? How can I be involved?
You gotta do something.
You're like, I gotta do something to stay involved. And I'm like, all I'm doing is editing right now. I was editing, like, I was doing all of our network stuff. I was like 12, 15 hours a day, like every single day. That's all I was doing, shooting and editing. And you were like, you know, like, I'm not involved. How do I get involved? I'm like, well, I need some editing. And you're like, it's not really my thing. At first, you were kind of like, I don't know. And then you're like, what else do you got for me? And I was like, and you did try, and you had some computer things. I think that kind of maybe discouraged you a little bit. Your computer wasn't really working. And you're like, well, what else can I do? And I'm like, that's literally all I have right now. And you're like, okay. So you kind of prayed about it, and then I know I'm really cutting the story down, but you came back and were like, you know what? I want to help. I want to be involved. You got a new computer. You got the same computer as me, and now you do editing.
Expert advice.
Yeah. He literally went out and bought the exact same, because my computer I got just a few months ago when I got here. And so, like, it's still the one they're selling. Like, there hasn't been an updated version yet.
It's not the newest. I think it's like one of the newest, but not the newest. Okay. But it has like a much better graphics card and processor, which you were telling me. You're gonna need good graphics card and processor. So, and I said, "What do you think about this one?" He goes, "That's the same one I have." I'm like, "Perfect." But yeah, I think actually the verse of the day today was from Hebrews, where it said, "Don't grow weary in doing good, for in due season you'll reap if you do not faint." And that's just for me. like, Pastor Jared and I've had this conversation. Like, he's known all his life what God's called him to do and how he's gonna. Like, I don't know if God's gonna get you there, but I mean, like, you have this general idea of like what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've been the flip side. Like, I have literally no idea, and it's just for me. Every time that I seek God and ask Him, "What do you want me to do?" It's be faithful. Don't grow weary in doing what you're doing already. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing, and that's what. It's literally, I mean, it's what I come back to every time I go to pray. God, I'm frustrated.
Works with me for a little bit. He goes and he's frustrated, and in prayer, and God says, endure for a season longer.
Well, on the flip side, sometimes when I am frustrated, I just have to think about how much I enjoy hanging around with Pastor Jay.
No, I was trying to say that you get frustrated when you're working with me.
I do not.
So, okay, I think that about wraps it up. We will. Hey, if any of you are like, I want to get involved, I'm really good with network stuff, you can come help us. You can actually, not even network stuff.
Hey,
if you're sitting there, we need someone to run this thing, so I'm not like having to lean forward to do stuff.
And like I just want to say, like, even if you are not good at computer stuff, like we mentioned, we're going to start having youth again. We need people to come and help set up, maybe to cook the food, maybe to clean. We need, like, there's something that anyone can do.
Probably not cooking the food because there's like health guidelines, but just about everything else. Yes, setting up, tearing down, helping run the games. Worship team, to be on the worship team.
Please, yes.
I mean, yes, we already talked about the media stuff. There's like a lot of stuff in the youth department that you could get involved in. And you don't have to get involved in the youth department. There are a lot of other departments in the church. A lot of the youth, like, I would guess, if I had to guess, I'd say about 40% of our students are involved in the kids ministry in some fashion. They volunteer at different times to work with kids ministry. We have a couple students doing, I know it's media again, but it's the main church media team working in there on Sundays and on Thursdays.
You only have to be able to pay attention and click a button. That's all.
Well, that excludes most of our Youth Factor audience.
Hey, if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's the motto for pretty much anything. If I can
show up and recording things and start inventing ways to be useful, maybe you're a painter or an artist, or you have some sort of other skill that you're like, hey, and how can I use this, and we can work with you. So we are going to, it seems like the internet's getting worse, so we are going to wrap up.
I know.
So why don't you close us in prayer and we will log off.
All right. Jesus, thank you so much for this time. I pray for everyone watching, God, that you would just show them what area you've gifted them in and how they can use that gift for your glory. I pray that no one would be discouraged. God, that you would lift discouragement off the shoulders of those who are watching and thinking they have nothing to give, and that you would just show them how they can use that for your glory. And we thank you so much. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.